Karine, Senator Tim Kaine said yesterday that, talking about immigration and executive orders, he said Congress should act, but he also says where the president can act, he should.
Should the president, though, use executive orders, executive action that he has available to him to stop fentanyl, to do what he can over the next 9 months, whether he's the next president again or not?
Shannon, I think he can do two things. I do encourage him to use executive actions.
Is the president receptive to this type of advocacy from senior members of his own party on this issue?
I mean, look, the senior senator, speaking about a senator, bipartisan agreement that came out of the Senate to deal with immigration policy and the challenges at the border. There was a bipartisan agreement that if it went into law, if it gone through the process of the Senate in the House and the president got it to his desk and signed it, it would have been the toughest and fairest action on immigration in decades, in years. And so that is what the president continues to speak to. We believe that is the direction to go. That is the way that we can stand on some legal ground here, and we know that it was done in a bipartisan way to move it forward.
All right, so I'm convinced there are two answers that the Biden administration has cooked up in their smoky back rooms when they're planning for these briefings by Karine or anyone else speaking in public. The first issue is to blame Trump and to say, Trump told Republicans in Congress to reject the border deal so he could get elected in the fall. They keep going to that as if that is the reason it's not being voted on, when it's purely related to the fact that Biden is not using his executive privilege to simply undo what he did when he first got elected and undid Trump's border policies. The second item is what they're about to address here in the House, and that is that Karine will say, it's a bipartisan deal, and it was rejected by the House. No, according to House Republicans, it was not really a bipartisan deal, as they like to call it. It was some Republicans and Democrats in a closed-door meeting coming together with this plan. But as far as the Republicans were concerned in the House, it did not really address the border, and it just had a bunch of other stuff attached to it that wasn't related to the border only. And here's Ted Cruz talking about what he really thinks they wanted out of this deal and what they're using it for today.
The entire purpose of this bill is to give political camouflage for Democrats running in November. The objective of this bill was, number one, to do nothing, so to do zero to secure the border, but to let every Democrat running for office say, gosh, I wanted to secure the border, but those mean Republicans wouldn't let us. This is all about talking points to deceive the voters. We're already seeing Democrat candidates across the country repeating that I was ready to secure the border, but the Republicans didn't. It's an utter lie. Remember again, Joe Biden can secure the border any day he wants. He doesn't want to.
And the last president, President Trump, said to Republicans, some of you reported this, to reject that deal because it would hurt him politically. And that's not what we're about here. What the president wants to focus on is what Americans care about. And majority of Americans care about what's happening at the border. And we took a step to do that. The president, along with Republicans in the Senate, Democrats in the Senate, took a step to actually deal with this issue. We've been very clear about executive actions. Will we look at executive actions to see what could work? Sure, we always do that. But here's the thing. What we understand, the bottom line is that we have to move forward with legislative action to actually make a difference here. And that's what we want to see. Executive action won't do it. It won't have the impact that this bipartisan agreement, negotiation that came to fruition.
Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies.